Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News starts right now.
Tonight, a family searching for answers 2 years after their loved one is taken by gun violence. That's our top story here at 10 o'clock. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. 18-year-old Takaya Allen was shot and killed while riding her bike exactly 2 years ago on Detroit's west side. And tonight, family and friends gathering outside a home to honor Allen, but the questions remain about the killer. In fact, questions are intensifying. Sean Lay live tonight. Sean, tell us more.
Devin, Kimberly, when you saw that name today, Takaya Allen, and then you saw her face when we were preparing this report, you remember her, don't you? We all remember her. Riding her bike, shot dead. The person who pulled the trigger drove off in a car, never to be seen again. So tonight, exactly 2 years to the day, the city, essentially, family and friends are honoring this girl who had so much potential. And this is another focus, though, to honor her, but then get the white-hot attention back on who pulled that trigger, hold that person responsible.
Justice must be served, number one, and her life and her legacy must be realized to even the younger generation.
A butterfly release at sunset in Detroit at this home on the city's west side. The beautiful t-shirts bear her name and her image, Takaya Allen. Family members and close friends on this night making sure the work, the dedication the 18-year-old OU nursing student showed will be carried on. Takaya Allen will never be forgotten. She was taken away from her mother with the pull of a trigger exactly 2 years ago. Kai Cooks is Takaya's mother.
It's hard. I cry all the time, but it's going to be okay because I know God. That's all that matters.
What also matters, holding the person responsible for pointing a gun out of a moving car at Linwood and Pingree, fired and shot Takaya dead with the pull of a trigger. That smile, all of that promise taken away, and for 2 years to the day, no one has been caught. Takaya's grandmother thinking of her granddaughter while thinking of the impact Takaya could have on others.
I, through my nonprofit, have set up a book scholarship. And the motto of that scholarship is, I want our young people to reach for books instead of guns.
Reach for books instead of guns. We were out there in that driveway for the butterfly release with the t-shirts with Allen's name on them, meeting family and friends. It was a real honor to be with everyone and just such a feeling of warmth of love that she brought to everyone at just age 18. But then again, in doing this, we're going to put on our website, click on Detroit.com. Maybe you can share it at home on your tablet or your phone, get this thing going again, because for 2 straight years to the day, the person who pulled that trigger is gone, living in the neighborhood somewhere. No one has held that person responsible. Maybe this will be the time that may happen. Back to you.
Well, we sure hope so. All right, Sean. Also new tonight, the man accused of kidnapping and strangling Winter Cole Smith is facing more charges.
Today, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announcing Rashad Trice is being charged as a 4th offense habitual offender. Trice is also charged with first-degree premeditated murder and a long list of other charges. He's accused of sexually assaulting and stabbing his girlfriend, kidnapping Winter, and then murdering her before dumping her body in Detroit. Trice faces life in prison. Ann Arbor police are asking for help to find the person responsible for vandalizing 2 fraternity houses at the University of Michigan. It happened at 2 houses off campus, one on Geddes Avenue, the other on Oxford Road. Police say the vandalism consists of homophobic and anti-Semitic symbols, including a swastika at one of the locations. Police believe it happened between 5 p.m. on July 17th and 6 a.m. on July 18th. And they're asking people in the area to check their doorbell cameras during those times. If you saw anything suspicious, call Ann Arbor Police.
Tonight, 2 people are charged in connection with a deadly shooting in Livonia. It all started with a fight between 2 women in a store on Merriman Road. Prosecutors say the altercation continued into the parking lot, and now 24-year-old Lanaya Khan of Detroit is charged with second-degree murder in the shooting of Markayla Sadler of Redford. A young man who was on the scene is also charged with carrying a concealed weapon in that case.
Residents in parts of Livingston County are being asked to boil their water before use. The boil water advisory applies to all customers of the Livingston Community Water Authority in the cities of Hamburg Township, Charter Township of Brighton, and Green Oak Charter Township. LCWA says if you receive water from any other source other than LCWA or have a well, this advisory does not apply to you. Today it was discovered the water level in the tower lowered, causing the pressure to drop, and that was due to lightning strikes from yesterday's storms. All right, an orange barrel alert tonight for drivers in Oakland County. A long stretch of I-75 is closing in about an hour, marking the next step in the I-75 rebuild. So starting at 11, I-75 will be closed in both directions between I-696 and Square Lake Road. Workers will be removing the existing traffic shift. Crews started closing ramps along that stretch just about an hour ago at 9. So by 5 a.m. Monday, southbound traffic will be on its normal alignment, and crews will reopen the south exits to east and westbound 696.
And a heads up for next week. A ramp closure affecting people who use the lodge to get to I-696. Starting at 9 a.m. Monday, the southbound ramp from the lodge to eastbound 696 will be closed. They're going to be rebuilding that ramp. So to get around it, you'll want to take eastbound 10 Mile Road and then head north on Losser. The closure is expected to last until late August.
Well, with the passing of Tony Bennett, a remarkable life and career comes to a close. So many of us felt like we knew and, of course, loved Bennett from his 7 decades of performing for us. But photojournalist Linda Solomon, who photographed Bennett for 40 years, really knew the man. Mara McDonald is live downtown tonight. Mara, Linda herself has spent a lifetime taking pictures, the most famous people on the planet.
Kimberly, she sure has. And for her, Tony Bennett wasn't just a subject. He was a good man and a very dear friend. Let me show you.
I first met him at Pine Knob. I have that photograph.
Linda Solomon didn't want the trite stage shots. She asked him if he'd come sit in the stands. The photo would be the first of many over the next 40 years.
He was so giving, and he, that was who he is. I mean, he never changed. With the great fame for 7 decades.
I left my heart.
To see Tony Bennett perform was to see a singer who gave to his audience, invited them in, felt his warmth. If you ever experienced him off stage and off duty, he was the same. Even in his later years, when he looked at you, the smile and the sparkle extended to his eyes. It radiated outward.
From the great dimples to the eyes, I mean, he was just the kindest. And, having the opportunity to photograph him at home and to get to watch him paint, because painting was as important to him as his singing.
Bennett did 2 things daily, paint and then sing. Linda was working on new photos with him one day.
As we were talking, he just started sketching. I didn't have a clue he was sketching me. And then when he finished, he said, "Look at this." And I looked, it was such a surprise.
Each year, a Tony Bennett painted holiday card would come to the house, and he presented Linda and her husband Barry with one of his paintings for their anniversary. She cherishes them.
When you're a superstar, you don't want to disappoint your fans, and he never did, ever. Frankly, he was even more special.
Because of you, the sun will shine.
Back here live, a special thanks to Linda Solomon for opening up her home and her archive to us tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed seeing all those photos as much as I did tonight. We're live downtown. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Really, really great story. Okay, Mara, we appreciate you bringing that to us.
While the $1 billion Powerball jackpot is now off the table, there's a chance tonight at another eye-popping prize. Tonight's Mega Millions drawing is worth $720 million. Just millions we're talking. But it's only the 5th time the mega jackpot has reached that range. Odds of winning if you buy a ticket, one ticket would be 1 in 302 million. That's lower than it used to be because the lottery has added more balls and mega balls now into the mix, leading to more possible combinations. But those lower odds keep the jackpot rolling over and growing too. So that's how you get to 720 million. We'll show you tonight's winning numbers on Local 4 News at 11. Tonight, DTE Energy working to restore power to all of its customers still being affected by yesterday's storms.
At last check, 28,000 customers are still in the dark. The company has called in crews from Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana to help with repairs. DTE says it has a system to help as many people as quickly as possible, but that means some people are forced to wait.
We start right off the bat with our most critical facilities: police, fire, 911 stations, hospitals, schools, those types of facilities. Once we get those going, we move into customer restoration. And we start, the most customers out on a circuit go first, the last few customers out on a circuit go last.
DTE hopes to have 80% of those without power restored by the end of the night, with the rest back by tomorrow. All right, let's get a check of the forecast. Much better weather as we head into the weekend here.
Kim Adams here now with what we can expect. Kim?
Much calmer, and I know when you don't have power, it's not much of a consolation, but at least temperatures are pretty cool tonight, and there's low humidity, and air quality is good. So you can open up your windows and at least get some fresh air into your home, and you don't have to have any worry about any rain overnight either. So in Detroit, it's 73 degrees, 68 in Howell, 71 in Pontiac, and 66 in Adrian. Still have those power outages across much of Metro Detroit, but we've seen an improvement. We go county by county, so we'll have another update for you at 11, and you can see who's been restored and who hasn't. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 82, but there is a risk in the afternoon and evening of just an isolated shower. Most of you will stay dry, but it is something that we have to put into the forecast because there's a possibility we could have just a couple pop up here and there. 69 in Mount Clemens, 60 the cool spot out in Ann Arbor, and 68 in Howell. Tomorrow again we get that sunshine and we warm up all the way to 82 degrees. So a really beautiful day for us. That high again of 82 continues, and it looks like by next week we'll have temperatures that will rise up into the 90s. So I'll have that coming up tonight at 11 on Local 4 News.
Okay, Kim, thank you. Coming up, a small kitten may have just used one of its 9 lives. We'll explain.
First, here's Priya.
Getting girls interested in STEM starts with hands-on experiences like this. We'll take you behind the scenes as the Girls in Engineering Academy explores everything that Bosch is inventing right here in Metro Detroit.